we're going to go over how to make an assembly of your linking cubes. You have to make an assembly of 10 total linking cubes, and you can put them together in any shape you want, except it cannot be a straight line. And then the other rule is that you can't have the same colors touching each other. I'll explain that in just a minute. So the first thing you'll need to do, obviously, is open up your Autodesk Inventor, which should be this icon right here. And when you open it, your screen should look like this. Now, here's my number one most important professional tip that you need to follow. Never open files from this window right here. I don't know why this is even on here as an option, but I can tell you that kids start getting in the habit of opening from here, and then you will have problems trying to save later on, and it causes issues a lot. I I wish this wasn't here. I really do wish this option wasn't even available. But take my advice. Do not open files from here. All right? So if you need to work on a part, this is how you'd make a new one. But if you want to, let's say you're not quite done with your cube, click open. And it will bring up this menu, and then you click the drop down, find your student ID number, and then find the file. It'll probably take it to, most likely going to take you to the right place. But you want to make sure that your student ID number and H colon is up here at the top. Right now, I'm at home and it's not connected to um, the school's, the district, what am I trying to say? Server. That's what it is. It's not connected to the district server, so I can't access my H drive. That's why it's not showing up in the drop-down menu. But since you're at school, you should be able to click this and find your student ID number and then H colon. That's where you want to go to find your file to open. Always open it like this. Never, never, never open a part or an assembly from down here. All right, so we're going to put some cubes together. In order to put things together, you make an assembly. So this is where you would make one piece by itself. And then if you have multiple pieces you need to put together, you do that in what's called an assembly. So I'm going to click the assembly. And then up here in the top left corner, you're going to see this. It says place from content center. Okay, you want to click, notice there's two different parts of this button. You want to click this bottom part here, and you just want this one that just says place, not place from content center. Okay, now you're going to find the file that you want to place into your assembly. I'm going to pick my linking cube. For some reason it saved it twice, so it doesn't matter which one I pick. And then once it opens, I'm going to just click on my screen and it will place my cube. Now I'm going to only place a few cubes. Again, you're going to need to do 10 total. I'm just going to do 5, and you'll have to do the other 5 on your own. Okay, once you're done placing cubes, you right click, cancel. So here's my 5 cubes. Now I need to put them together. I'm going to space them out just a little bit better here so they aren't touching. Zoom out a little. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click this option right here, constrain. That's how you put things together. So I'm going to click constrain, and this option menu comes up right here. Okay, and I'm going to go to this. I'm just picking any cube, and if you find the post here sticking out and you zoom in a little bit, and went the wrong way. Stop going the wrong way. There we go. All right. Move around until you find this right here. This is the center line. You want this, the center line of that. You don't want this. This is the face of the circle. This is the face of the cube. This is the edge. This is a different edge right here. All right, there's a lot of different ways you can join things together. You want this center line right here. So you're going to click the center line. And then let's say I want to put it with this cube right here. So again, I'm going to find the center line of that hole, this dotted line right here. Okay, you don't want this. This would be the face. This would be the edge here, and different edge. All right, we want to find that dotted line like that. Click it, and it puts them together. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. All right, they went together nicely. So you click apply. Now sometimes it might look more like this, to where the cube goes inside the other cube like that. All right, it's really not a big deal. You still click apply, and then you can just click on the cube, keep the mouse button down, and just drag that cube out. Okay, I forgot to do a step here. Not a big deal, but we need to do what's called grounding on one of these cubes. That makes it stay permanently in position, fixes it in place. So I'm just going to hover over this cube right here and right click, go down and find grounded, and check it. So now this cube, that was weird. That shouldn't have happened. Let's try that again. Right click, find grounded, okay, it's grounded now. I don't know, that was weird. I don't know why it didn't select it after I picked it. So now you can see this cube cannot move anywhere. It's grounded. Okay, you're only allowed to ground one cube, and I will check over here if I can get this menu out of the way. I will go over here and I will look. Oh, that's okay. It grounded a different cube, and this is doing weird things. Okay, so now let's say you have two cubes grounded. I can tell it's grounded because it has a pin right here. All right. So for some reason it grounded a different cube. That's really odd. But I can unground it very easily. I can either right click on the cube itself, or I can right click over here and just click on grounded again, and it will unground it. See how the pin is gone now? And now I can move that cube. By the way, if you're over here in the menu, if you hover over it, notice it highlights the cube in the window as to which one that is. So like linking cube 5, you can see the one that highlights in the window, and that'll help you find things if you make a mistake, find out which one has a mistake. All right, so now I've got this cube right here, can still slide back and forth. All right. I need to make it permanently fixed to this cube. So I've got the center lines grounded, or not grounded, constrained. Now I'm going to constrain an edge. So I'm just going to click constrain again. And I want to find this edge. Make sure it's a line. You don't want this. That's the face of that cube. That's the purple face of that cube. I want this edge right between the purple and the green. And then this edge of the yellow. And I put them together. And there you have it. These two are completely fixed in place. Okay, and now notice green here, yellow here, orange here, green here. This is what I was talking about when you can't have two faces touching. Now let's say you put these together, but you didn't want them together. It was a mistake. Okay, so here's how you can fix that. Click one of your cubes, and it highlights it over here. Okay, then you can click the plus sign next to it. Go down here and find the mates. This one with a circle was my center line mate, and this one with a line is an edge mate. So whichever one I messed up on, let's say I messed up on the edge mate, maybe I clicked the wrong edge, I can just right click on that and delete it, and now that mate is gone. So if you go to mate it together, all right, so let's say we do like this. We go constrain, edge, edge, apply. Oh, I got two greens together. I can't do that. So that's when I would click here, it highlights it, come over here and find the one I messed up on, right click, delete, and now I can just click on this cube and I can spin it and make sure that there aren't any same color faces touching, and then I can constrain them back together, just like that. All right, now let's say I click two things that can't be joined together. For example, these two cubes are locked together. They can't move. But I mistakenly click, let's say, this face and this face. Now, obviously, those two can't be joined together. I can't join the faces together because these edges have to stay joined together and the center lines have to stay stuck together. Whenever you constrain, it's like placing glue on those parts. Okay, I can't glue these two faces together because they wouldn't be able to keep the other things in place. Now, let's say I do that. Okay, I click apply and I get this error message right here. Okay, whenever you get this error message right here, sometimes kids want to go accept the relationship, and they do that. Don't do that. That's going to mess up your project, and we're just going to have to go back, and at some point, things are going to be so messed up, I'll have to go back and delete all of these messed up assemblies. I can tell if you do that because if you click that, then notice over here it puts that triangle on there. And if I hover over it, it says inconsistent. In other words, you said, yes, put that in there. And the computer's telling you, I can't. I can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. It can't work. But you told me to do it anyway, so I listed it there, but it's not really in place. Okay? So then I'll have to come back over here and go, oh, yeah, you got all these mates that you tried to override that aren't going to work, and I'll delete them, and you'll have to start over. So don't do that. If you get an error like this, okay, you click here, you go apply, you get this error, that tells you did something wrong. You got to figure out what are you doing wrong. Okay? You've got constraints over here that something's gonna have to be deleted so that you can then try and do what what you want to do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick this cube here into this hole here. So now I will click constrain, and I'm going to find the center line here of the peg, and then the center line of this hole, and apply it. Now you can see that I've got to close this window in order to be able to click and drag this cube. But the way I originally had it was like this, so it was going to be green and green touching. I can't do that. So I'm going to spin it. So now purple is going to go to green, red's going to go to blue. So now I can constrain the edges here. It doesn't matter if I pick the top edge or the right edge, as long as I pick the corresponding edge on this block. So I can go top edge here, apply it, and now those cubes are stuck together as well. Okay, now let's say I want to put this peg in this top hole here where the green face is at. All right, so I'm going to go constrain, center line of the peg, center line of the hole, apply, close that. Okay, now you can see the cube went inside the other cube, so I'm just going to click it, drag it up. Oh, it's facing the wrong way. The peg is facing up, but I want it to go down. All right, so here's what you can do for that. I'm going to click this cube, and it highlights it in the menu. It's linking cube 3. Okay, I got to go back and delete that mate that I just did. So I can right click and delete here, or I can do some undos until I get rid of it, but I think it's easier to just delete. So I'm going to right click, delete that mate. Now what I can do is do free rotate. Click the free rotate, click on this cube, and then I can spin it so that the peg is going down.